Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health, and coaching related paradigm. We have over 850 of these available for your listening pleasure and continue to add to them on a multi-time per week basis, sometimes daily, often not these days with my busy schedule, but we try to do this as often as we can with the hope that it adds some clarity to your life. And if you are looking for coaching, would love to be of assistance to you in that way, would love to do that in a way that makes sense to you at a time that works for you. Please feel free to reach out. There's a couple ways to do that. You can do it through Twitter at PO Perception. You can do it through the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either way, going to get the information you need, and we can connect on a pretty consistent basis that way. Make the remainder of 2021 and into 2022 the best years of your life. And so, emotional depletion or emotional hunger is what we're going to kind of talk about today. So, what is emotional hunger? Usually, it's a childhood wound that is relatable to when we didn't get our needs met as children, when the emotions around what love is and love is not. It can lead to love addiction. It can also lead to love bombing and other negative behaviors around imbalance of overgiving in a loving situation. And a lot of times we don't realize we're doing it. Many abuse victims, emotional neglect victims are prone to it, but there are signs that someone is emotionally overhungry or emotionally depleted. First is they're constantly seeking approval. Obviously, we want to be liked. No one, or virtually no one, would walk into a situation and say, gee, I hope you hate me. But when a person is willing to change their personality and self-identity for the benefit of moving forward, for the benefit of getting to a healthy place, and they are willing to lose their self-identity behind it, that can be not only unhealthy, but also a sign of almost an addiction to approval. And when a person begins to get addicted to approval, it's because they're so emotionally hungry they don't know how to create emotional wellness and balance within themselves. This can cause a whole lot of challenges in that way. The next thing is dependency. So, if a person is emotionally overly hungry or emotionally starved, they're going to become dependent on the approval of the other person or the attention of the other person or the focus of the build of the relationship. This can lead to a couple of things, either smothering or love bombing. So, giving the person everything they want in exchange for attention, giving the person everything they want in exchange for a desire to continue the relationship to moving rapidly. Many emotionally hungry people will overpromise. They'll say they're in love, they've never felt this way before in very rapid succession. This is because they're trying to move things forward into a place of security through overpromising. These individuals have no boundaries, so even if they're not happy with something or they're uncomfortable with the way a relationship is playing out, or they've maybe been pushed beyond what they're comfortable with sexually, they're pushed beyond what they're comfortable with financially or emotionally, they'll agree to it simply on the base of not wanting to lose the value of the relationship, or at least the perceived value of said relationship. The next is they are high in triggers. High in triggers means that a person can interpret something extremely negatively very quickly, and they're high in triggers, meaning, hey, I didn't necessarily mean this way, but a person jumps to worst case scenario. The belief that they're going to be left behind, the belief that they're going to be abandoned, the belief that they're going to be unvalued, the belief that they're not going to be treated well, and or any of all of that leads to a connective where the relationship becomes more and more unhealthy because one is continually losing themselves to keep the relationship going without realizing the consequence to themselves for that behavior, and they're also continuing to be kind of in a negative space or in a space that doesn't lead them well. So that can be problematic in and of itself. The next is also understanding that the number of triggers tends to grow. So single conversations can lead to being triggered, and then other triggers in the same conversation as you begin to unpack stuff is quite common. The last thing is the person is clingy. The encouragement for individual hobbies or interests outside of the relationship is extremely low. The connection with needing the approval of the other person is extremely high. And again, that smothering or love bombing behavior becomes predominant. So hopefully this is helpful. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.